Yo, what's up, family? Before we start the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and share it in everyone that you can. Just get out there a little bit more. With that being said, let's get right into the video. Kentucky center Amari Williams has one of the more unique skill sets in the NBA draft, and I wanted to take a look. So let's get into the film. All right, how y'all doing? I hope y'all doing good. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, make sure you take your shoes off before you come in the house. And Amari Williams from Kentucky, the title is no exaggeration. This is the best bet to be a hub big in the NBA. Just some overall profile stuff on Amari Williams. He is from Kentucky. He's not from Kentucky, but he played his final season at Kentucky. He spent 4 years at Drexel. He's a 5-year senior. He won 2 or 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards when he was at Drexel. I'm not sure which one, but he's 7 foot with a 7'5" wingspan, 260 pounds. So he's a really big, sturdy center. He's 23 years old. This season, he averaged 11 points, 8.5 rebounds, 3.2 assists, 1.2 blocks, 2.3 turnovers. And the advanced stats, or like the percentage stats, really show like a really versatile guy that ranked very high in a lot of things. So his defensive rebound percentage was 29.5. That ranked in the 99th percentile as far as the centers go. And he had a 24.7 assist percentage, which was in the 99th percentile. And then he had a 74.4% free throw rate, which ranked in the 98th percentile, and a 6.1 block percentage, which ranked in the 85th percentile. So this is a guy in college basketball who ranked at the top in defensive rebound percentage, assist percentage, free throw rate, and at the absolute top, but one of the best shot blockers. So you have a guy that has elite traits at defensive rebounding, passing the basketball, getting to the free throw line, and blocking shots. That's why I say he's one of the more unique skill sets. And you can just see like the effortlessness on his pass. He tips out the rebound, and he's a guy that can really go out and run. He can get the rebounds, start your offense, or even go coast to coast like he did sometimes in this game. All right, so just another disclaimer, as I said in the Drake Pop video and the Adu Thero video. If you haven't seen those, go check those out. These are not scouting reports, right? These are just a couple games that I watched and I presented to you guys. So for guys that made the NCAA tournament, I will be watching all their tournament games. If a guy did not make the tournament, then I'll be watching their best and their worst games to see how they vary and see what things can translate in those couple of games. So here on this play by Amari, he again was a 2 or 3 time Defensive Player of the Year at Drexel in their conference, and he is primarily a guy that I want to be close to the paint. He's not a guy that's going to be sliding his feet and switching primarily, but he does a nice job on some possessions. I know this is Troy, so not NBA athletes, right? But even in the games, which we'll see later versus Tennessee and Illinois, he does have some possessions where he's switching. I just think he's a little bit too slow-footed, and he's not as agile enough to do that regularly at the NBA level. But sometimes he can't hold his own like he does here. He switches out a couple times, and just he uses his length against the Troy kids, and he can really get out and run again. He can make the correct pass in transition to get his offense started, and he just generates so much offense. He generates so many easy looks. And on this play, right, so he gets the defensive board, right, and he can't get the ball to his point guard, right, and again, it's just an effortless pass. He cuts, and it's just like the vision, the passing placement, the touch of his passes is just effortless. They get an open shot, just starts that whole play, and he creates that corner 3 look. Okay, now to what I believe is his biggest flaw, and it's his overall touch. In a Troy game, I banged my head so many times at these missed layups directly at the rim for someone, especially against Troy. He shot 66% at the rim this season, which is good, but when he's not dunking, it gets kind of scary. In this Troy game, he shot 2 for 8, and some of these misses are just flat out bad. And I thought, well, damn, if he's doing this against the Troy kids, what happens if he goes against some top teams? He ended up shooting a little bit better down the road of the tournament, but this season he shot 46% in the paint, and even though he gets to the line a lot, he only shot 62% from there. So an improvement in his overall touch would just make him so much more effective. And if he was better at finishing, I think he would be much higher on draft boards. And because of his lack of touch inside, and because he cannot shoot from the outside, this is how Troy started to play him. But I'm telling you, like, I know it's kind of hard to, but please just keep watching. The way he was able to still be effective rebounding, playing defense, and passing in all 3 of these games that I'm showing despite this. I mean, he shot 6 for 9 against Tennessee, which is crazy that he shot 2 for 8 against Troy athletes, but then no respect to Troy. But then shot 6 for 9 against Tennessee is just like insane, which is a little encouraging that it's just not all bad, right? He's such a hub, and he's the engine to their offense. So if you do this and you're sitting back on the cuts, like, it does limit some of his effectiveness, but it just didn't work for Troy in this game. But NBA teams could do this to him, and I think a tone down in his usage rate, which is of course high because he's the engine of this offense, and he's a post-oriented offensive big in college basketball. And without great touch and without a lot of post moves, I think he was forced to play that way just because, you know, he's the star, he's the engine of that team. But in the NBA, where he's not going to be posting up and he's going to be strictly in the high post, doing those dribble handoffs and passing the ball from up here, I think that negates a lot of his bad shots in the post. Now, lower shot attempts could mean more efficient, or it could just mean he's going 0 for 5 or 2 for 5. So I hope the tendency game is more of an indication of what's to come in the NBA for just him finishing inside when he's not dunking the ball, but this stuff is there. Okay, now let's really get into what makes him effective. And I know I just listed out a lot of flaws and those are probably bad. Like, you'll see why I'm super intrigued by this prospect. So again, the passing, right? He's in the post here. When teams double team, he makes them pay. He plays with one of the best shooters in college basketball in Kobe Bryant. He plays with a nice scoring guard in Otega Owe. And Kobe Bryant has a lot of gravity off the ball because teams don't want him to shoot, so he gets a lot of open cuts. When the team comes to double team him, he makes them pay. And the vision is just insane because he looked at this corner for 0.1 seconds. He saw that this guy was coming over, and it's just a straight fiery pass. It's an open lane, but the quickness in which he makes these reads and the vision that he has is super impressive. And man, with this, like, he can do shit like this. I say he can take the ball coast to coast. When there's not a guard in sight, he has no problem putting the ball on the floor. And look, he's going, like, he's not a great handler by any means. Like, he doesn't have like a Danny Wolf type of center handle, but straight line, he can really go and do shit like this. When he's like, he can literally just do this all the time, but sometimes he just chooses to lay the ball up. I don't get it. Any slip up by the defense off the ball is hell with him with the ball in his hand. You see Kobe Bryant there. All right, so here's his effectiveness all over this possession, right? So they tilt the whole defense to him. They send number 33 over there, right? And he makes this pass. I don't know when he saw Kobe Bryant. Of course, there's like verbal communication, but I don't know when he saw him, right? So he passes to Bryant. They force the rotation. They get a shot up, I believe, in the corner, right? Nope. So we got a drive. Otega Owe puts up a shot, right? Offensive rebound, he's also pretty good at this. He averaged 3 second chance points per game, which was in the 96th percentile, a 10.3 offensive rebound rate. So he crashes the glass, gets the offensive rebound, again, a nice pass right there to Otega Owe for the finish. I just hear, again, I wouldn't recommend him in like a real switching scheme where he's just switching all the time. But again, he is a really good defensive player. He has the capabilities. He's smart, especially as a shot blocker. He's able to stay there, block that shot. And we fast forward this, he gets the rebound, and then again, his guards aren't available, so he just takes the ball up on a guard. They can't get the ball, and he ends up getting fouled. And then a really, really good outlet pass puts around the money for Otega Owe. All right, so here's a game against Illinois, which Kentucky also won. But now we have some more NBA level talent. We have Kasparas Yakachonis, we have Will Riley. So these are guys that are probably going to be, well, Kasparas is going to be a first rounder. Will Riley's range is kind of all over the place, but these are NBA level guys. So he contests that jump shot. He runs the floor well, gets the ball. Again, he's processing, he's surveying, sees a guy wide open, hits him for 3. All right, so here he is at the top of the key as the hub for the offense. They're going to try to run some zoom action for Kobe Bryant. And you see how far the defender is sagging off him, right? And this is why I think the team he goes to is so important. Now, I'm a Celtics fan, right? Well, obviously you guys probably know that already. The Celtics do a very good job of spacing their non-shooting center. So a guy like Luke Cornett, when Kata plays, they have ways that they can space those guys so they're not just zeros on the offensive side. So in the dribble handoff game, when the center is not guarding our center and he has the ball, this center has to be a really effective screener. And you see how he moves himself and then gets set. He moved over to where the defender was and then got set and hit him with a phenomenal screen. So his guy that was receiving the handoff can be wide open for a mid-range shot. When this guy is not being guarded, it's a 2-on-1 situation between him and the handler versus the defender that was trailing him. So this guy has to be a phenomenal screener, but the offense has to put him in position. So when he has the ball, they can take advantage of these 2-on-1s. When he doesn't have the ball, he can be right here and they can get right into some screening actions off the ball, and then he can roll or he can do whatever. You can't just park him right here and expect him to say, hey, go finish every time. That's not his game. He can catch lobs, of course. If he's dunking the ball, he'll be fine. But this is his game. He has to be somebody at the top of the key off your bench, like in Isaiah Hartenstein type, where he's able to be the guy doing stuff for your offense, right? Not every play, but he has the abilities to do it. All right, so of course he's going to be primarily a drop big in the NBA, but if he's going up against like a really good pick and pop threat, he's not quick enough to get out there, guard the handler, and then go back to the pick and pop guy. So it is kind of tricky there. But in the pick and roll, if he's not guarding a guy that can shoot and he has to come to the paint, they're going to have a really hard time going through him. Again, he plays good defense, gets a contest, gets a rebound, and he brings it up for a 7-footer to be able to do this, have that quick burst, and he finishes the and one. He shot 4 for 11 in this game, which is an improvement from 2 for 8. But the stuff that he does, it just really pops off the page. And if you can get this guy to improve his touch overall, he can be really good. As you can see from his passing, you can probably tell that he has really high basketball IQ. And that also carries him on the offensive side of the ball, of course, with the passing, but as a screener, right? So he sets his screen, gets the defender trailing behind, allows his point guard to get the guy in jail. And then he knows that and he sees and he sets his guard top screen so his guard can snake through and get a layup. Now, again, really impressive rep by him on the perimeter. This is Will Riley. This is a projected first round pick, early second round pick. He literally stays with Will Riley this whole time. Now, Will Riley isn't some impressive ball handler. He's not a super quick guy with the ball in his hands, especially, but he stays with him, forcing the pass. He does a go screen. He stays with them. He drives again and he blocks the shot. And I really love this play when Kentucky used it. They use it a lot. It's like some zoom action, but it's really close together. Amari is able to use his body to shield off this handoff receiver's defender. Of course, he has the touch to get the little flip pass there and a good layup. And he really has some electric defensive possessions in this game. He has some really good sequences where he's blocking shots and going down and dunking the ball. But then again, he's staying here with Will Riley again, who is like a really good scorer. Is again projected to be a first round pick. And he's just staying with them through everything. He's driving. He stays down the pump fake. He blocks the shot right there. And then he gets the ball back and he stays with them. Now, he had problems with some other guys in this game, but like overall, you can see that he has the ability to switch on occasion. And inside the arc, he is a really good shot blocker. And here, just a really impressive play, getting into the passing lane, getting up into the stretch big, getting the steal and a dunk. And this is just absurd. This is a really small window with the big, like giving you space. Will Riley is right on his hip and just the smallest pocket opens and he like flips it. He just flips it with his left hand in there, and a good layup by Kobe Bryant. And I talked about the pick and pop game potentially being something that will hurt him at the next level. It did hurt him in this game, but then in the second half, right, we saw that he had the tip steal with the dunk, and then here he just gets up right on time, blocks a shot, and gets another fast break dunk. All right, so here they got Kobe Bryant coming off some stagger screens. It looked like this is just some double zoom. Like this is nice for him to come off this screen. And again, he relocates as a screener. He does a nice job of really getting into the way no matter where he is. He gets into the way, gets set so his handoff receiver can get some space. Kobe Bryant gets another floater. All right, so here we are against Tennessee. He had a much better shooting game in this one, 6 for 9 from the field. They did lose this one. He had like 4 fouls, so he did get some foul trouble here. But here he is taking the ball from half court, getting into the lane, getting into the post up, and again, of course, find Kobe Bryant again. He just missed the layup. All right, so here he does a nice job here. He's in drop, but the pick is set really high. You see the handler is like is basically at half court, so he's up above the 3-point line. Chaz Lanier is a really good shooter, so he's up, and then he has the length and the ability and the athleticism to contest shots while in drop. So he's not at the level of the screen right here. He's under the 3-point line. The shot goes up. He's able to get a hand up and force a miss. And then there's some times where he legit is just bringing the ball up. Like he's a 7-footer that can run the floor, that can run your offense, be a hub, or he can legit just bring the ball up. And if you're a player on his team, you need to be cutting because he will find you. All right, so here we got him again. He looked like he's by the screen, gets the ball at the top of the key. And look at the placement of this pass. Lamont Butler cuts, right? He cuts. Look at where the ball is. He perfectly leads this pass to his outside hand. The defender's inside, so we're not going to throw it right here. He leads him to where he needs to be. pass is on point for him in stride to just get a layup. All right, here he is using that IQ and that nice screen ability. Does a step up screen for Tega Owe to get into the lane, but then he gets the offensive rebound and the bucket. And again, he's agile enough at 7 foot to put the ball on the floor from half court, from the 3-point line, and drive in, finish. And then of course against smaller defenders, he can back them down, bruise them, and as the defense collapses, he can read the floor and make really quick reads like he does this one. Shot just doesn't go in. And of course, being a hub and being a guy that is mainly going to be the handoff passer and using his agility and his ability to put the ball on the floor, he can fake some of these stuff and keep and finish or create for others. Kentucky gets the ball to him in the post again, and of course, if you're a player that's playing with him, you need to be cutting. He finds the guy in the post for the dunk. And sometimes he will show off the post moves or just like a quick drop step with the strength and the elbow there with a tough finish. But that is a video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe, and share it in everyone that you can. Just get out there a little bit more, and I will see you guys in the next video. This is Nick. Peace.